S. Dresden, Moats, Steelers won't move up for franchise quarterback. What do you think about bringing in Darnold? He could finish Pickett at experiment at worst. At best, we are title contenders, in my opinion.
No, I agree with you, man. I don't think that the Steelers won't move up. I just don't think that they feel they need to this season. You're not moving up to get, what we might deem the next version of a franchise quarterback while you're already confirming that Kenny Pickett is going to come into this offseason as QB1. They were looking to bring in competition. Coach T didn't say we're looking to go ahead and just flat out upgrade or we're getting us a new quarterback one. He said Kenny's QB1. We're going to bring in some competition. We would like to have Mason back, but Kenny's QB1. So that's, I think, more the reason why they're not going to move up. I don't think it's like out of the equation forever. I think if this didn't work, don't be surprised next year if they moved up, because Omar Khan has shown that he is very aggressive with how he operates in the draft, man. But in terms of bringing in Sam Darnold, we talked about that yesterday.
Yeah.
We like
Who
him.
brought that up?
TG did. Yeah, he said that's a name to watch for. And I would agree now when he broke it down the way that he did, because you saw Sam Darnold come in and play well this year. We know that he is a high pedigree guy who's been around and has starter experience, but more importantly, he's very talented. So less about how productive he can be when you're talking about just talent in a practice setting. You know how hard it is to beat out a professional on that level every day in practice because of how talented he is? That's what you want to see from Kenny, though. That's the thing with Mitch. When we said why Mitch was the guy early on, Mitch knows how to practice, and Mitch is a professional, and Mitch is ultra talented. So that's a big reason why, So with Sam Darnold, you're going to get that same extent. But more importantly for Kenny, that's somebody that you're not looking at and saying that I can't beat him. But what we would all agree is if you can't beat Sam Darnold, then yeah, we need to go ahead and draft this guy the following year, because we don't deem Sam Darnold as our franchise guy. But is he good enough to start? Sure, he can start. We've seen multiple quarterbacks worse than him start. So that's kind of, like I said, my thought process with it. And I think he'll be cheap. I don't think
you're not
he's
feeling
cost a
great
lot of
if
money.
he's your starter.
Yeah, but at the same time, if Kenny can't beat out Sam Darnold, we're in a bad situation anyways. I'm not looking at Sam Darnold as my long-term answer, but I'm looking at Sam Darnold as a legit dude to push Kenny, and I'm going to find out a lot about Kenny. If Kenny can't beat out of Sam Darnold, then this ain't what I need no how. But we still going to have to roll through the season anyways, and that's why it's like, all right, at least Sam Darnold could give us some form of something.
Or at least he still has upside.
Yeah.
If things go south, where it's like, all right, let's see what he can do
Yeah.
for a stretch of games.
And we do know he is
like
talented. He has the talent stuff.
Yeah, does he have that little bit in him that a lot of people still, or not?
Yeah.
No, definitely not a lot of people. I'm sorry. Some people think that he may have, that got him drafted number 3 overall back in 2017,
because of how he looked out in San Fran this offseason, bro.
Can he untap that a little bit and go on almost like a Mason type of run?
Yeah. Because he is more talented than any of these dudes.
I think it makes complete sense. If we don't get Mason back, bring in Sam Darnold to be the guy as competition for Kenny Pickett. If not him, another name being brought up in the chat. I don't like him, but I think it would be good competition for Kenny. Ryan Tannehill, like you've mentioned him before. Like there's certain guys you could bring in.
My only hesitancy with Ryan Tannehill is this: Sam Darnold hasn't proven that he can be a guy. He hasn't proven that he can take a franchise and win consistently. Tannehill took a team to an AFC championship. Tannehill has been the franchise guy that's got the $100 million contract and has been the legitimate winner. Not when Sam Darnold when he got the option picked up. We looking at Carolina like, why the heck y'all doing that? Like Tannehill actually showed a lot more. So my fear for Kenny is if you bring in Tannehill, that might be too much. Just across the board, when you're talking about the field, when you're talking about the competition, when you're talking about just how that's going to look on a day-to-day because of where it's been. Those are some of the things where I'm just like, you're not even talking the same price range either, Sam Darnold versus Ryan Tannehill. So I just think by what you're going to pay Tannehill.
The Tannehill market will be interesting.
Yeah.
As much as, I'm not really interested in Tannehill as a player, like as a QB1 or anything.
Yeah.
I think his market's interesting because just where he's at in his career.
Seriously, man.
Is he still viewed as a QB1 from other or at least as a guy who can compete for QB1?
Yeah, because he still has the big arm. He's still athletic. But you need to have him paired with the running game.
$15 million or is he getting paid like $5 million?
I think more closer to 15 right now.
It's interesting.
Yeah,
his market's interesting.
Like I look at Darnold, Sam Darnold. I say that's more of like your fives, your 5 to 7 type range, kind of like what the Mitch situation was. Low key, kind of what Mason's situation would be. Like I see all of them kind of in the same vein. I just think Tannehill, what he's been able to do and kind of sustain, specifically in Tennessee, I just think he puts himself a cut above all of them dudes right there. So that's why I'm like, man, we bringing in him, get you the backup. Like I think it's that message being sent where Sam Darnold, I think the message is compete. Like you said, man, if Kenny Pickett ever got to where Tannehill was, I would love what I was seeing from Kenny. He just hasn't given me Tannehill just yet. He ain't even giving me Miami Tannehill. Miami Tannehill won't even like that, but he was still just consistent. He was available. He would do the things that we knew. If this is what you do well, we were going to see that part. Now, the other stuff, it was like, all right, now this is what you're not capable of, but we do. Okay, you can use your legs. Now you got this big arm, and you're going to be out there. And then you get to Tennessee, you're playing with a running game, a defense, good coach, and variable. And now it's like, oh, shoot, you done took a team to the playoffs multiple years. You done took a team to the AFC Championship game. You actually have won meaningful games now, man. You've shown that you can legit face some pressure. And the real time we saw you finally fall off was when Derrick Henry got hurt and you had to go that span of being the guy. But we would all agree, Tannehill is like a Kirk Cousins, like a Jimmy G. They're high-end, dope players, but they're not elite great, that class. But they still get a lot of success, get a lot of production, get a lot out of their teams. That's why I'm just like, I need to see Kenny just get to there first before I could even say that he's going to surpass Tannehill. That's why I'm like, if Tannehill was here, Tannehill's QB1 unless Kenny shows something crazy. But that's why I'm thinking Darnold is, or if we really want Kenny to get a chance, I say Sam Darnold.
All right, so here's my thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's if you were the coach, you would have Tannehill as QB1. I'm not so certain if we sign Tannehill. I guess depends on the contract. Like if the contract's too high, I don't even think we're interested.
Mm-hmm.
But if we sign Tannehill, based off Tomlin's comments,
but that's why I don't think
he would still have Kenny Pickett QB1.
But this is what I'm saying. This is why I don't even think Tannehill is even in this conversation. Because Tannehill and Kenny Pickett in 2024 are two different classes of quarterback right now. Not saying that Kenny can't get to that and surpass it, but today he has not. Today we more so saying that Mason is shown more closer to Tannehill than Kenny has, because Kenny has shown us a flash inconsistent, flash hurt, flash not available, right? Mason gave you 4. Tannehill's giving you multiple seasons consecutively of that.
He has been on a downward trend in his career, though.
We said who got hurt. Once Henry got hurt last year, it really started to slow down, and then this year it was a little bit of the same. You got to have him with a running game, and we also not saying that you're paying him the contract that he got in Tennessee either. We're coming down off of that number also. But I just think that to act as if he hasn't shown a lot more.
I'll give you that, but here's what I'm wondering is, like, I mean, could you even get that version of him at this point where he's at in his career? And I don't even like that version, like because you know how I feel about Tannehill just in general.
That's fair, but the rebuttal is, has Kenny shown that he can at least give you that? Because he technically hasn't. He's giving you a flash.
I think that's what you're wanting to see. I think it would be like a disservice to you drafting picking in the first round.
That's why I don't think you could bring in Tannehill.
That's what
I don't think you could bring in Tannehill though, because I do think Tannehill is just a better player right now, and Kenny would be sitting behind him barring injury. I think Sam Darnold is more appropriate because Darnold is talented, but Darnold hasn't put it together on a consistent enough basis like Tannehill has. So with Darnold, it'll get interesting because of the arm talent, but this is where you want to see Kenny have to be more of the full quarterback. I think Tannehill's a better full quarterback right now, but I do think that Kenny could reach to that level.
Oh, for sure.
But that's the thing right now.
That's
like,
what I'm expecting.
We just haven't seen it yet.
That's what I'm expecting,
right. But that's why for me, it's
Tannehill has done more in the league than Kenny
he's
Pickett
already
up
proven.
To this point. I'll give you that. But
so that's why it's like, if you're bringing Tannehill here, how are we going to say, hey, the proven version of what we think you can get to, we're going to sit that behind you and just that part don't make sense.
I don't know if Tannehill's there, like prime Tannehill. I don't think he's there anymore. Anyway,
he still took a team to an AFC Championship game and been to the postseason.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. That was like how many years ago? That was what, 2019?
Where are we getting the optimism for Kenny professionally, though, in contrast to why we're so negative?
He's just younger.
On
Like that's what it is. He's just younger. We like
So it's just a
Tannehill's
number
career's
thing. Yeah.
all out there. We've seen it all. I feel like he's hit his cap.
Yeah.
Kenny's younger, and yeah, you want to see that. Like you drafted him in the first round, and again, I'll bring up some of the good stuff that Kenny has done thus far throughout his career with the game-winning drives, winning record, quarterback, all that stuff.
When you bring up all that context, that's why I just say you don't bring Tannehill here, because all that stuff, it wouldn't matter if we're watching both of these dudes with the same set of tools. I don't think it's gonna be all right, yeah, we still gonna roll with Kenny. I think even if you let Kenny get all the QB1 reps he wanted to have, Tannehill today is still a better version right now. Now Kenny could develop into it, but we ain't seen Kenny in over a month. So it's like we go talk about a dude that we saw actually have big boy success and just act like that don't even matter when we've never even seen Kenny have that type of success. And the last time we saw him play was over a month ago. Well, that was obviously prior to this, but like the last month of the season. You catch what I'm saying? Say it. But that's why I'm like, yo, Darnold, Tyrod, any of these other dudes that have never reached true franchise quarterback, true guy status, I love that for Kenny because I don't think it's going to discourage him. I don't think it actually cuts his legs off in the competition. And I think for him, it actually is a legitimate enough challenge.
Zach Wilson?
Those are legitimate names. Seriously, bro. Those are legit. Think about it. It's not about how much you're paying them dudes. It's more so about you just want a talented dude that is enough of a something to push him. But you don't want it to be so much that now he don't feel like he could actually win it. That's why I'm like, yo, you got to kind of how you viewing these dudes, man. Your personal view on Tannehill is just different. I get it. But that's the part where I'm like, take your personal view out of it. That ain't what you want. I don't think you want that around him right now. I think a year or two from now, if he shows that he can legit put it full season, then you bring that in. Now you're not tripping. Now you say, bro, you're a great backup, bro. We ain't tripping on you. But it's hard to sell you on great backup when we all about to have Steelers fans saying, well, what about Mason? He was the third string quarterback, and he clearly was the best quarterback the whole time.
How you feel about like a Jameis?
He's interesting because to me, I like him, but I don't know. I feel like he's above Darnold. I think I personally like him more than Tannehill, but I can't actually stand on him being just proven better than him. I think he has the talent, but to say like who's played better as a pro, put it together. It's like I like certain things that James has done, but there's certain things I don't like what James has done, man. We joke about the turnovers with Josh. Josh never had the 30 for 30. Like that was a legit thing.
You
like,
know, now that I think of it, bro, how Tomlin reacted to a couple of those Mitch games with those picks, I don't think James
is 30 for 30, bro.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work.
That is a totally different conversation.
I don't think that's gonna work.
Yeah. That was my only. I'm like, I love he's talented. I think he gives you great leadership in terms of like being a guy that the dudes want to be around. But he a little wild with it, man.
Yeah, I think best options right now are Mason, and then probably Darnold. I think Darnold's that's a good name. I think he'd be after Mason,
man. Yeah.
Darnold after Mason, and then you're talking Tyrod. Yeah. I don't know if the Jets are trying to trade Zach Wilson,
but
I don't think he's available. But something like that.
Yeah. I'm liking those names, bro. Because like I said, I just don't want to bring in something that is when we all see it is like, yeah, we know that. Yeah, that's the QB1.
Well, this is where you're losing me because obviously I'm thinking like there's just no shot in how Tannehill's winning QB1 over Kenny. Like that's my.
You could pick whatever season you would like.
I get where you're coming from.
That's
I just still believe in Kenny. I just flat out still believe in Kenny.
I do too. That's why I said if it was a year from now, I think it's a different convo because we would have seen where he could actually get out there and prove it and have that type of confidence coming into this competition. He might look at Mason like, all right, bro, like this is really about to be a fight. Tannehill, that's the conversation. Even Mason ain't done that just yet.
Well, again, my mindset is I'm taking Mason over Tannehill all day, every day too.
That's cool. You know how I feel. I'll take Tannehill. You could take Mason and Kenny. Put them together if you want, bro. One has taken a team multiple times way further, bro.
Like,
you know what they say, when you got two of them, you ain't got one, bro.
The Moats podcast team versus the Deke pod. You know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
I'm taking this guy over that guy.
Yeah,
and then we could look at those guys at the end of the season.
So as it stands right now, I have Josh Allen and Ryan Tannehill. You got Mason Rudolph and Kenny Pickett.
Whoa. We didn't start the game yet.
Are we really about to do that one?
We didn't start the game.
Because I'm like, if you really want to do that one, bro, yeah. I was like,
we didn't start the game.
You ain't trying to do that one.
Do we want to do it? I'm throwing it. I think it'd be an interesting little game.
You know, I'm gonna ride with Josh, bro. If we take a quarterback, I'm gonna ride with Josh.
We're not talking the Josh thing just yet. We're on Tannehill. We're getting off topic a little bit.
I was like, if that's what we talking, I'm taking that one. Are we talking Tannehill versus Kenny in terms of 2024?
Yeah.
You're asking me today before I even know where Tannehill ends up, or
yeah. I guess we could. It's just an idea. I think it'd be a fun game because you know how you just say I'll take this guy over that guy.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro.
TG taking Dak over Josh Allen.
We can do it, bro. He did say that. He got to stand on it too. He got to stand on that one. Yeah, we not stand
he said
on it.
Kyle Trask over Kirk Cousins.
Stand on it. Yeah, stand on all of them. Stand on all of them, bro. But yeah, I just think, man, like I get it. Tannehill isn't an elite quarterback. For people that don't like really good quarterbacks, you start to get this like warped vision of really good quarterbacks. Bro, he's a really good quarterback in this league, man.
I just haven't seen chips with those guys.
You've seen an AFC Championship appearance, though. What have you seen close with the Kenny or Mason right now? That's my only thing. It's like specifically those two. I'm not tripping on
this upside. This is why this is a huge year for Kenny.
100%, bro.
Like if 100%, bro. Kenny doesn't deliver how I expect him or think that he's capable of, then we're talking about a new quarterback.
Yeah.
Same with Mason.
Oh yeah, either one of them. Yeah, either one of them, man.
What did I want to say?
Concepts just brought up how Will Levis. He said Will Levis outplayed Kenny every week with the worst offense.
That's not true.
That's what he said, though.
That's not true.
That's definitely what he said.
That's definitely not true. I remember.
I would agree with you, bro, but that's what he said.
I remember Levis had those 4 touchdowns in his first game, and I hadn't heard from him since. He was not doing that amazing down with the Titans.
Man, they said Levis down here cooking.
I was keeping some tabs on him because everyone was talking him up so much whenever we faced off on Thursday night, and everyone's like, "Oh, Levis is so much better than Pickett." Meanwhile, Pickett had the game-winning drive, won the game. Levis threw the game-losing pick. Everyone's like, "Oh, look at Levis. He's so good. He's the Titans franchise."
Yeah.
I don't think he did jack shit since then.
I think he was just hype. People get hype about him, but I don't.
Yeah, he had a cute first game and whatever.
Because Tannehill won the end one, right? That was Tannehill out there for the. Or was that?
Yeah, Tannehill up us out.
Yeah, that was for the last
Shout
one, bro. Yeah,
it was a weird feeling.
It was Tannehill and Edmonds,
it was
bro.
A weird feeling relying on Tannehill.
Tannehill and Edmonds, man.
Thank you.
Victory formation. Let's go. Hey, finish it out strong. Took all the doubt out, bro. Come on, man. Ew.
I had something else I wanted to say, and I completely forgot.
But I do think that as a whole, man, I'm not against seeing Kenny get an opportunity. I'm not. I just think that specifically Tannehill, I just have a higher opinion of Tannehill.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. If it was him in Miami, I think I'd still be talking a little bit less of him. But it's like I've seen him do enough stuff in Miami where I didn't like it, but you still showed that you could be a guy. And then I saw you actually become a guy in Tennessee. Now, yeah, you had a dope running back, but who don't need dope pieces? Like, I'm not knocking him for that. The same way we don't knock Kenny Pickett when Najee Harris and Jalen Warren look good. It's like, bro, you need pieces. But the thing that I will say is, man, he also was showing that he could deliver some of them big passes down the yard, man, specifically when it was A.J. Brown with D-Hop to an extent, but D-Hop definitely isn't the same as A.J. Brown right now.